Hey there, I'm Jeremy Payne, and today for the host for That Was History. So let's take a stroll through history and put a bit of a spin on things. What if there was no United States? What if the British remained in control because the Americans lost the Revolutionary War? There are three general areas to cover here, but even beyond that, there's much more information we could give you regarding this topic, but due to our time frame, we're just going to hit on a few of these. So to start with, if we, the United States, had lost in the Revolutionary War, there probably would have been harsh time punishment for anyone and everyone that were revolution supporters and wanted to be free from British rule. During the war, there had already been proven accounts where British soldiers were killing American troops who were trying to surrender, and other reports that showed that they would even put some into prison holds on ships to contract a disease or die from malnutrition. In 1775, King George III had promised to bring to condign punishment the authors, perpetrators, and abettors of such traitorous designs. So that would mean that leaders like George Washington, his generals, and all those who signed the Declaration of Independence would be tracked down and murdered. And just to show proof that these acts would happen as we've described, there's the failed Scottish Rebellion of 1747. So going on to the second matter, we can assume from the obvious that the United States of America would not be in existence today. The British had completely different plans for the continent than to actually settle it and explore the territory. The peace treaty at the end of the 7 Years' War in 1763 gave England control of all of North America territory to the east of the Mississippi River. And as I just stated, they wanted to leave the land in the west unsettled in order to keep the fur trade alive with the Native Americans. If they had been victorious in the war, there might have been a stronger population and presence of Native Americans in North America. If you take a second to Google the Comanche Empire, you will see just what I'm talking about. Not to mention the size of Mexico, how it might have been larger than it already is today. If no nation challenged Mexico, they would keep their territory and possibly even keep expanding further, but who knows? Now to the last point I'd like to cover how powerful Britain could be if they had won the war. If they had won, they would be one of the biggest powers in the world. Recalling back to wars like World War II, Britain was definitely in need of help. The extra territory in North America could have been exactly what they needed to stay ahead of their enemies. Having the option of land on both sides of the world would give them a strategic advantage from almost any direction. From an economic standpoint, more land would equal more crops and resources to exploit, which would lead to more money in Britain's pocket. It would have certainly been different, but also Britain's version of North America probably wouldn't have been the worst thing to have happened. Well, that'll wrap up this episode for today, so please leave us a comment on your view of things and what you think. If you like the content, please hit the like button below and hop on over to our social media sites as well. We'll see you next time, guys.